Oh no, did I frighten you? This film is going to be, but more than that, it will provoke thought as we go deeply into the potential identity of this character. The moment for BG123 has finally arrived. Additionally, Bearable Guy 123 is a highly intriguing character because he is a cartoon bear with accurate on-deck or here fashion, with him dressed in some elegant suits and tie guys. Now it was him who introduced the riddles to his community. Thus, this is really intriguing. Who is the bear, after all? To be honest, he has hinted at his potential identity. Why? Let's look into it. What do you guys notice from these two profile photographs of the bear's primary account and his second account, which is his opposite account? There are many parallels as well as variances. His eyes are the same color, which is the main theme I do see in all of his scenarios. The color is blue. Alright? In actuality, he is surrounded by this blue theme in many of the shots, correct? Yellow and blue. We will describe blue and yellow and blue. This has a recurring motif that goes much deeper than we realize and dates back to ancient times, so let's look into what's actually happening in detail. Please enjoy today's video, and let's get started. First, we need to visit Robert Sefer, who is right here, because there are many connections that are related to the bear. Let's get started. The name Rothschild, which translates to red shield, was used to refer to the ancient Phoenicians. The term phoenix, which meant red in ancient Greek, is the root of the word Phoenician. Rothschild, which has Phoenician roots, means red shield. This is probably the bear's first riddle tweet ever, and the knight's first as well. We observe a knight wearing what appears to be a crimson shield in the castle scene. Do you all understand what we're discussing? You guys, it's back to the family. Then there's a hooked X on the shield. The bearer tweets a hooked X right here as well. Crossed hook. The castle has an ugh sign. Will it be replaced with the X ruby symbol? The letter X, which the carrier replied with, features a drop that doubles as a hook. Perhaps bait. This brings us full round to Kensington. The zone is real, according to Minnesota's website, and there were blonde, blue-eyed Mandan. What is this about then? Blonde with blue eyes. Blonde with blue eyes. Blue-eyed. Perhaps something blonde is symbolized by the yellow background. Guys like blonde hair. Fascinating. However, the Phoenicians call themselves Canaanites, and their alphabet was exactly the same as ancient block Hebrew, the basis for our current alphabet. Europa, a Phoenician princess from Tyre, the ancient Phoenician city, which is 12 miles from the border with present-day Israel, is actually the source of the term Europe. Nevertheless, it has been demonstrated that Phoenician DNA sequence from Carthage is identical to European DNA. The swastika and the seal of Solomon, also known as the Star of David, were widely used in ancient Phoenicia. Both symbols predate Judaism and have Kabbalistic roots, having originated among the ancient Aryan Magi, or magicians, of Chaldea, which includes present-day Iraq, Turkey, Iran, and Mesopotamia. Have any of you noticed anything here? What are you all observing? Blue-eyed, figures with blue eyes. Blue-eyed, just like the bear himself. Helena Blavatsky once said, "The mysteries of the Jews were identical with those of the pagan Greeks who borrowed them from the Egyptians, who in turn borrowed them from the Chaldeans, who in turn borrowed them from the Aryans, the Atlanteans, and so on." Rabbi Marvin Anterman claims that Mayer Amschel Rothschild, Adam Weishaupt, and Jacob Frank were involved in the creation of the Illuminati, a plot to create a world system by infiltrating covert organizations like Freemasonry. According to Anterman's book Eliminate the Opiate, Rothschild funded both Frank and Weishaupt because he wanted to control world finance and use Jesuit-style organizational structures to further a Frankist objective for a new world government. It's there. They fund this order that needs to be implemented globally. Isn't it correct? This brings us back to the red shield, which the bear himself represents in the castle scene. Alright? This states unequivocally that XRP will rule. Is it clear to us now that it all stems from these the ruling powers? And the reason XRP's ascendancy seemed assured. If you do a little research, you'll see it right there. Since this relates to Aryan origin, it now goes even further. Let's look into it. Like English, French, or German, Farsi is an Indo-European, or Aryan language. The ancient Aryans, who rode horses and chariots into India thousands of years ago, brought Sanskrit and its caste system with Aryan nobility at the top, also made their way into Europe. This was evident not only from linguistics, but also from genetics, which brought with them the blonde blue-eyed phenotype and lactose tolerance, which is the inherited ability to digest dairy or milk as an adult. These blonde blue-eyed Aryans also brought the Chalcolithic or Copper Age to the Levant 6,500 years ago, influencing Canaanite or Venetian culture in Mesopotamia and Chaldea, a term that suggests the period preceding Babylon, such as the Sumerians and Amorites, and formed the noble priest class, historically known as the Aryan Magi. So gentlemen, is that what the bear is? A magi? Maybe a magician? The occult science of the ancient Magi was hidden under the shadows of the ancient mysteries, according to Albert Pike, a 33rd degree Freemason, who wrote about the Aryan Magi in his book Morals and Dogma. The Gnostics partially or more accurately distorted it. Under the obscurities that conceal the Templars' fictitious crimes, it is speculated. In other words, Freemasonry, Rosicrucianism, Nazism, philosophy, and esoteric alchemy are all based on the original Chaldean Kabbalah that was spread by Knights Templar, which, according to Pike, originated with the Aryan Magi. It is also found and encased in mysteries that appear impenetrable in the rites of the highest Masonry. Viking DNA indicates that the wizards or magi were of course Aryans, since the runic script is thought to have originated straight from the Phoenician alphabet rather than via Greek, Etruscan, or Latin. It is thought to possess an East-South Aryan genetic mixing. Speaking of runes, guys, keep an eye out for Mr. Paul. Runes texts. Internal lockup rise offers the city of twins when the time comes. Well, that's interesting. Like the swastika, the seal of Solomon, also known as the Star of David, is an ancient emblem. The Knights Templar, an occult group that led military crusades on behalf of the church, reclaimed Jerusalem, and diffused Kabbalah into European secret societies, before disbanding in 1312, held it in high regard, and were linked to the Magi, who were rumored to have helped Solomon build the first temple. Around this time, the Zohar was first published. Although it is referred to as Jewish mysticism, its esoteric teachings can be traced back to the Chaldean mystery schools of Babylon, where the Israelites in captivity were taught their gnosis, or guarded knowledge, by magi, shamans, or priests. The Israelites were said to have inherited this knowledge from a lost home of their antediluvian ancestors, which the Greeks and Egyptians called Atlantis. It all stems from their development of this new Phoenician system. I'm serious. Alright. The Freemasons sign, or perhaps we could say another symbol that emerges from the Star of David. Alright. The intriguing thing about this XRP symbol is that it's an X. Yes, but what does it add up to when we put them all together? This is how it goes, followed by that. Guys, what is that symbol? That's right. Alright, people, we're making progress now, and I think it goes much deeper. Let's watch this video right now. Kabbalah revealed. According to Jewish belief, Kabbalah is a representation of the esoteric wisdom that was given to Prophet Moses and then discreetly transmitted through centuries of Jewish mystics and academics. Every human has spiritual imprints on their body, including facial features, hands and forehead lines that represent their soul's past, moral status, and purpose, according to the Zohar. A person's essence can be seen without words by those who possess this wisdom. According to one story, a Kabbalist in medieval Spain used face reading to settle conflicts as he journeyed from town to village. Two merchants accused one another of stealing in one instance. After examining their foreheads, the Kabbalists found one of them guilty. He clarified that the man's forehead displayed letters of shadow that indicated dishonesty when he was asked to provide evidence. The Zohar places a lot of emphasis on the hands in addition to the face, explaining that their lines and forms resemble a map. The primary lines, what later traditions refer to as the lifeline, wisdom line, and fate line, reflect energy, intelligence and destiny, while each finger represents a spiritual element. The Zohar directly links these lines to Hebrew letters and cosmic ideas, in contrast to later popular palmistry. A sage who analyzed a young man's hands and predicted peril in his way is described in one passage. Indicating a severe challenge ahead, he added,